Testament of Reuben. Chapter 1. Reuben, the firstborn son of Jacob and Leah, speaks. A man of experience, he warns against sexual immorality and explains how people most often fall into error. This is the copy of the Testament of Reuben, the commands he gave to his sons before he died, in the 125th year of his life. 2 years after the death of his brother Joseph, Reuben fell ill, and his sons and grandsons gathered around him to visit him. He said to them, "My children, I am dying and going the way of my fathers." Seeing Judah, Gad, and Asher, his brothers, he said, "Lift me up so that I may speak to my brothers and my children the things I have kept in my heart. For now I am about to depart." He rose, kissed them, and said, "Listen, my brothers, and pay attention, my children. Hear the words of Reuben your father and the instructions I give you. I call God in heaven as my witness today, that you must not walk in the sins of youth and sexual immorality, in which I was swept away, and by which I defiled my father Jacob's bed. Because of this, I was struck with severe pain in my body for 7 months. If my father Jacob had not prayed for me to the Lord, I would have been destroyed. I was 30 years old when I committed this evil before the Lord, and I was sick almost to death for 7 months. Afterward, I repented with all my heart for 7 years before the Lord. I drank no wine or strong drink, ate no meat, and took no pleasure in fine food. I mourned constantly over my sin, for it was great, unlike anything that had been done in Israel. Now listen, my children, to what I learned about the spirits of deceit during my repentance. 7 spirits are set against humanity, and they guide the actions of youth. 7 other spirits are given to a person at creation, through which all human actions are carried out. The first is the spirit of life, by which the human body is formed. The second is sight, from which desire arises. The third is hearing, from which learning comes. The fourth is smell, which allows breathing and perception of the air. The fifth is speech, through which knowledge is gained. The sixth is taste, through which food and drink are consumed, producing strength, since food is the foundation of physical power. The seventh is sexual desire and reproduction, through which sin enters by love of pleasure. This last spirit is created last but becomes dominant early in youth because it is filled with ignorance. It leads the young person like a blind man into a pit, or like an animal over a cliff. Beyond these is an 8th spirit, sleep, which brings both natural rest and a likeness of death. Mixed with these are spirits of error. First is the spirit of sexual immorality, rooted in human nature and the senses. Second is the spirit of greed, centered in the appetite. Third is the spirit of aggression, dwelling in anger and bitterness. Fourth is the spirit of hypocrisy and manipulation, which seeks to appear good through excessive politeness. Fifth is the spirit of pride, producing arrogance and boasting. Sixth is the spirit of deceit, jealousy, and secrecy used to deceive even family and friends. Seventh is the spirit of injustice, which leads to theft and exploitation so that a person may satisfy selfish desires. Injustice works together with the other spirits through bribery and corruption. Along with all these comes the spirit of sleep, which brings confusion and illusion. Because of this, young people often perish, their minds darkened from truth. They fail to understand God's law and do not obey the guidance of their fathers, just as happened to me in my youth. Now, my children, love the truth and it will protect you. Listen to the words of Reuben your father. Do not fix your eyes on a woman. Do not associate, do not get involved with another man's wife. Avoid situations involving sexual temptation. If I had not seen Bilhah bathing in a private spot, I would not have fallen into such a terrible sin. Her naked image consumed my thoughts and wouldn't let me rest until I committed the shameful act. I did something disgraceful because of these thoughts. While our father Jacob had gone to visit Isaac, and we were near Ephrath in Bethlehem, Bilhah became drunk and lay uncovered in her room. I entered, saw her nakedness, and sinned without her knowing. I left while she was still asleep. Immediately, one of God's angels revealed my sin to my father. He came, mourned for me, and never touched her again. Testament of Reuben. Chapter 2. Reuben continued speaking, sharing his experiences and offering wise advice. Therefore, my children, do not be drawn to the beauty of women, and do not fix your thoughts on their affairs. Walk with sincerity of heart and reverence for the Lord. Devote yourselves to good works, learning, and caring for your flocks until the Lord gives you a wife of his choosing, so that you do not suffer as I did. Until my father's death, I did not have the courage to look him in the face or speak openly with my brothers because of the shame I carried. Even now, my conscience still causes me pain because of my wrongdoing. Yet my father showed me great compassion and prayed to the Lord for me, so that the Lord's anger might turn away, as indeed it did. From that time onward until now, I have remained watchful and have not sinned again. Therefore, my children, obey everything I command you, and you will not fall into sin. Sexual immorality is a deep pit for the soul. It separates a person from God and draws them toward false gods, because it deceives the mind and understanding and drags young people down to destruction before their time. Many have been ruined by sexual immorality. Whether a person is old or young, noble or common, rich or poor, it brings disgrace among people and mockery before the powers of evil. You have heard about Joseph, how he guarded himself from a woman, purified his thoughts from all sexual temptation, and found favor with both God and people. The Egyptian woman tried many schemes against him. She summoned magicians and offered him love potions, but his heart allowed no evil desire. Because of this, the God of your fathers rescued him from every hidden danger and evil death. If sexual immorality does not overcome your mind, then evil itself will not overpower you. Women, my children, can be dangerous when driven by such desires. Lacking physical power over men, they rely on outward charm and manipulation to draw men toward them. Those they cannot entrap through beauty, they overcome through cunning. The angel of the Lord also taught me this. Women are more easily overtaken by the spirit of sexual immorality than men. In their hearts they scheme against men, first deceiving the mind through adornment, then poisoning with a glance of the eye, and finally capturing them through the act itself. A woman cannot force a man openly, but through seductive behavior she leads him astray. Therefore, flee from sexual immorality, my children. Command your wives and daughters not to decorate their heads and faces in ways meant to deceive the mind, for every woman who practices such deception is reserved for judgment. This was how the watchers, before the flood, were seduced. As they continually looked upon women, desire grew within them. They imagined the act in their minds, changed their appearance into that of men, and appeared to the women while they were still with their husbands. The women, lusting after these forms in their thoughts, gave birth to giants, because the watchers appeared to them as beings reaching to heaven. So beware of sexual immorality. If you desire purity of mind, guard your senses from every woman. Likewise, instruct women not to associate freely with men, so that they too may remain pure in mind. Constant association, even without committing the act, becomes an incurable sickness for them and a path of destruction and lasting shame for men. In sexual immorality, there is no understanding or devotion to God. Jealousy thrives within lust. Because of this, I warn you. You will grow jealous of the sons of Levi and seek to raise yourselves above them, but you will not succeed. God will defend them, and you will suffer a bitter end. God granted authority to Levi, and alongside him to Judah, to me, to Dan, and to Joseph, so that we would be leaders among our people. Therefore, I command you to listen to Levi. He will know the law of the Lord, establish judgments, and offer sacrifices for all Israel until the fulfillment of time, as the anointed high priest spoken of by the Lord. I call upon the God of heaven as witness that each of you must act truthfully toward your neighbor and show love toward your brother. Approach Levi with humility of heart, so that you may receive a blessing from him. He will bless Israel and Judah, for the Lord has chosen his line to rule over the nation. Bow before his descendants, for on our behalf they will fight in both visible and unseen battles, and from among them will arise an eternal king. After giving these commands to his sons, Reuben died. They placed his body in a coffin, carried him up from Egypt, and buried him in Hebron, in the cave where his father was laid. These are the stories that didn't make it into the final canon. If this sparked your curiosity, like, comment, and subscribe for more lost scriptures.